Today, I want to talk about hoarding your creativity. I met with a business consultant who, for some reason, was meeting with me for free for coffee for a few months, and he was speaking into where I was. You see, one of the hardest people in the world to see is yourself. It's hard to look unbiased at the things you're doing and who you are as a creator and an artist. And so I kind of opened myself up to this consultant and said, hey, have at it. Like, you let me know what you think. And as we began to talk, I told him some of the things I had done, but more importantly, I told him things that I wanted to do. And he said, what have you put out in the last month? What have you created? And I kind of sat there quietly because I have no problem creating for clients or for cash, but he was saying, what have you done for you? I said, well, I've been working on my book. I've been creating poetry. I've been editing old film photos. I've been everything I had done was hidden away. Now, this is perfectly fine if you just want to be an artist or a hobbyist on the side. But if you're wanting to begin to make money or make a side income or an income off of your art, hello, this is kind of obvious, but you can't keep it all to yourself. And I realized in that moment that while I had been in my office doing things, I was hoarding my creativity, mainly out of fear or out of a potential rejection. You see, without realizing it in my subconscious, I was hoarding everything that I was making for myself. Let me give you a good example. I'm writing a book right now. I have a second idea that's kind of out there. It's easy for me to hide within my Word document. But here's what I discovered. After looking into how some different people had done things, I realized, what if I start putting out some of this content, some of this stuff that I'm writing on that is going to become a book? What if I give it some life now? Because here's the thing, and this is going to be a little hard to receive, but when we're hoarding our creativity as artists, we're being selfish. We are being selfish. I'm writing something that I believe can help people, and I'm keeping it all for myself. There's a great business line. It says, don't say no for me, which just means if you want to invite me to a party, don't assume that I won't come. Don't say no for me. You ask me so I can say yes or no. In the same way, for your audience, the world, for your social followers, for your friends and family, don't assume that they won't like what you create. One of the most beautiful things about art is exploration, is getting to experiment. And here's where the consultant took me that helped me kind of land the plane on this. What is the worst thing that can happen by putting out what you think is good? The worst thing that can happen is that somebody's going to say no, is that someone's not going to like what you made. And guess what? If you're the best of the best, that's going to happen anyways. So while there are clear moments that you do have to unplug and go away for months or weeks or a year and create something, there are even more moments that as you're creating, as you're making, as you're painting, you can let people in on that process. And while there are all these voices and doubts and fears and insecurities, trust me, I know it's hard. There are all these things lingering. The most fulfilling place for you is for your hands to be creating and for you to be able to put good out in the world, because guess what? But just like all these fears surrounding putting something out have to do with negative feedback, we seem to forget that by putting things out, we're going to get the positive. We're going to get those encouraging comments and text messages. And for me, when I run into someone at a coffee shop or I get a text message, it can be one of the most encouraging things to help push my creativity forward.